The title of the song is OBON, One Britain, One Nation.
Check it out. So today, Britain's nationalist government encouraged all primary schools to get their kids to sing a song called One Britain, One Nation, which sounds suspiciously nationalist, but according to our nationalist government, the song isn't nationalist at all, it's just patriotic. Well, that makes it all okay then, doesn't it? I mean, this government have been caught lying more times than a fat kid in a house full of cookie jars, but I'm sure they're telling the truth on this occasion. Now, the reason this has even caught my attention is because I was on Twitter earlier and saw that people were comparing this song called One Britain, One Nation to something that you might heard sung by the Hitler Youth.
There's one interesting point, I was thinking about this last night. Obviously, we had the Nuremberg trials after the war, and we hanged quite a few Nazis and imprisoned a lot of others, and we let them out eventually. But we didn't go after the Hitler Youth.
Now, at this point, I think we should listen to some of the Hitler Youth, One Britain, One Nation, and see whether that's an accurate comparison or not. Check it out. Now, before we even start the song, we've just peeled back the first layer of cringe. Why has some boomer sat in their office with Windows Media Maker and thought it'd be a good idea to put Shout Out Britain like some kind of Tommy Robinson style garage MC? Shout Out Britain! Untitled the EDL Massive! No free school meals inside the venue! Get your parents to pay all the stuff for real, fam! Run the rhythm selector!
We are Britain and we have a dream to unite all people in one great team. We are Britain and we have a dream to unite all people in one great team. Our nation survived through many storms and many wars.
Yeah, I don't know what people are on about. That definitely doesn't sound like some little demented German kid singing Über alles Deutschland or something like that, does it? Now, there is at least one person who doesn't think this is some worrying proto-fascist anthem of nationalist pride, and that is professional Karen, Carol Malone. Check it out.
What is wrong with people loving being British? And a sense of belonging is one of the most important human needs.
Or maybe treat people like they belong here instead of criticising black people or challenging black people every time they talk about racism then, innit, Carol? Just take a look at the list of some of her YouTube videos and you'll see that she doesn't practice what she preaches about inclusiveness. Shut your mouth, you haggard old witch.
It doesn't mean you hate other countries. It doesn't mean you're insular. It just means you love your country. In America, they love their flag. They love their country. Insulting the flag is illegal in America.
Oh yeah, America's a great example, innit? Now, first of all, you can see her racial bias here because when she talks about people loving the flag in America, she's talking about a very specific demographic of people. And second of all, those Americans she's talking about, you know, the ones that love the flag so much, well, why don't we take a look at what that kind of quote-unquote patriotism leads to? Check it out. Fucking mental flag shagging nation nonsense, fam. Now, before we go any further, I think we should take a little look at the lyrics of the song and see what go on. We are Britain and we have one dream: to unite all people in one great team. Our nation survived through many storms and many wars, the vast majority of which we fucking caused. What, you telling me that ain't the lyrics? Oh, right, it makes more sense though, innit? We've opened our doors and widened our island shores and then promptly slammed them fucking shut again. Brexit, anyone? We celebrate our differences with love in our hearts, united forever, never apart. Unless they take the knee in favour of racial equality at a football match, in which case, boo the wankers! So many races standing in the same place. Yeah, some of them are called coppers and are arresting the black people. So many different faces moving at the same pace. We all stand together with pride in our hearts, united forever, never apart. Now here comes the cult-like robotic nationalist repetition part. Are you ready? Here we go! Strong Britain, great nation. Strong Britain, great nation. Strong Britain, great nation. Strong Britain, great nation. Fucking hell, that's tragic, innit, bruv? Now, honestly, I do understand that the person who wrote that was probably trying to be inclusive and was doing it from a good place, but the absolute cheek of this government trying to encourage a song like this to be sung in the vain hope that it might go some way towards covering up the complete disaster clusterfuck of a balls up these lot have overseen since they took power in 2009, fam. And not only that, the environment they've created in this country by stoking the flames of nationalism to ensure that they keep getting re-elected by absolute fuckskulls who are too thick to realise that these so-called politicians are just skanking their money off them and lowering their quality of living, all while telling them, don't worry mate, that dick up your ass ain't really a dick, it's just the warm glow of patriotism. And over the last couple of days we've had evidence of exactly how the government have been doing that, with their reports stating that white working class boys do worse at school due to the fact that people are talking about white privilege. I mean, one of the people who wrote the report literally said that disadvantaged white children feel anything but privileged when it comes to education, thereby proving he doesn't understand what white privilege even fucking is. White privilege doesn't mean you're privileged or that you're gonna have an easy life. What it means is that if you experience a hard situation in your life or you're going through some hardship, it likely won't be due to the colour of your skin. It may be due to your class, your social standing, your sexuality, your gender, etc, etc, just not your skin colour. It's not that hard, mate. But anyway, when it comes to working class white kids underachieving in school, it's not like that's been a thing since I was at school 20 years ago, is it? And it's not like the government have been cutting public funding since 2009 with their economic choice, which was never a necessity, labelled as austerity. It's not like that had anything to do with it. I mean, it's not like people have to go to food banks now since the Conservatives got into power because they simply don't have enough money to live off in a first world fucking country. It's nothing to do with them, is it? It's all to do with the fact that we're talking about white privilege and asking for racial equality. That's the problem. But anyway, the reason I mentioned that story is to prove how the government stoked the flames of nationalism and pit cultures against each other in some kind of culture war, and then stand back and say, see, this is why we need to unite as a nation and all the kids need to sing a pathetic little nationalistic song before they start school every day. Well, I'm sorry, but why would any non-white English person want to sing that song when this country isn't fair and free for all, and this isn't a united nation in most people's eyes? The experience most of us have is of a completely unfair and imbalanced nation where 12,000 people can go to Ascot every single day, but I can't go to the birth of my daughter. Or what about if you're black and then you look at the news that came out today where a copper was convicted of manslaughter for murdering the footballer Dalian Atkinson by tasering him for 6 times the recommended limit and then kicking him in the head twice so hard that he left his laces imprinted on Dalian Atkinson's head? Why would you want to sing One Great British Nation when every single day you're told you're not part of it via microaggressions and dumb behaviour from people who should know better? I'm sorry, could you pronounce your name again for me? I'm struggling a little bit with it. I don't quite know how to say ethnic names too well. I'm really sorry about that. Yeah, no problem. It's Jonathan. Fucking idiot. But anyway, I haven't seen many people who are happy with this song being imposed upon our children because it's not just the fascism light element of it, it's the fact that it's just a shit song, fam. But anyway, I guess that about does it for today. If you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Smash that like button and turn notifications on by clicking that notification bell so you can see more videos like this one. So yeah, once again, thank you all for watching and I'll see you next time. And